Hey, this is Nerd Text Account, and I'm going to do my review on Young Monsters in Love Issue 1, the $9.99 80-page giant. I do like the cover. Well, let's begin into the story. It has multiple stories in it, so it's an anthology. And I was actually not happy with the second story, but I'll get into that when we get to there. The first story is with, Man Bat, nocturnal animal. It's pretty much, you go over like how he used to be Man Bat and it was a nightmare. Kirk was having a nightmare. He is Man Bat because of a serum. And so Man Bat is actually trying to get him to take it, trying to pester him. He goes, sees his ex-wife. And you can see that it looks like he's trying to hold it together, and she's just not going to stay with him. She is leaving him. And he is very unhappy with this, and Man Bat takes the opportunity to try to convince him to take the serum and turn into Man Bat. But he resists it and says, I'm taking control. And he's not doing it for Francine, but for himself. And I actually did like the ending of this. So he had tragedy, and he became weak, but he was able to fight it off and take control of his life. Issue 2 is, second story is about the Frankenstein and Lady Frankenstein going onto a mission, and very little dialogue is in here, but it's more about reading a love letter. I do like this art a lot. And pretty much we don't really know what's going on too much. But it's just, it's just a setting, because the story is not about them fighting, the monsters or whatever entity it is. It's about reading this love letter, and you see them working well together. So it gives the impression that they are going to, get back together. And, they don't. She's in love with someone else. You have no idea who Cynthia is, unless she's another character from somewhere else. But pretty much, I want them to get back together, because I just started reading Frankenstein Agent of Shade, the new 52 run here. This is issue 8. I've read 1 through 9, because they kiss and she calls him husband. So I was really hoping, it's like, okay, I know that there's some more. I haven't finished reading the series. I only have 1 through 9, but it's like, I was really hopeful. It's like, because I haven't heard anything about them from, else. I think this might be the most recent thing that they're doing. And with Frankenstein Agent of Shade, because I haven't heard anything, after the new 52, and I looked it up. If I missed it, please tell me if they've done anything after that. But I've been away from this for 1 week. Well, after I finished reading it, because I left it at home when I'm at the apartment now, and I just sort of, well, I left it there by accident, and I couldn't do a review on it. But now that I calmed down, well, been away from it, I can see that it is really tragic, and it is a good story, and it does fit into this. It's like, most people want a happy ending, but do monsters ever really get happy endings? No. It's usually tragic. And same thing with Man-Bat. It was tragic, but had a consolation, like, happy endings. And that's what I felt like about it. The third story is Buried on Sunday. It is basically Superman and Lois, Lois thinks what Superman's going to do is very dangerous, but saying, oh, I can help do something good instead of preventing something bad. So, sure, yeah. Superboy follows him, sees Something Grundy, and, well, I gotta say this with the art, this face. I don't like this art when it's doing like this weird facial expression. I'm not saying the art is bad, it's just it looks a little bit off in places. And this just stands out to me. But the main story is that Solomon was temporarily allowed to visit his wife's grave. And that's what Lois found out, that his wife is buried here. Which I'm actually not all that surprised. She is a reporter, so she has to be able to do research and stuff like that. And so, in the ending is pretty much of how, even though this is dangerous and risky, Superman says love is risky as well. But I just love this page, how the artwork really shines here. I gotta say that. And that's how it ends, And Solomon Grundy's going back home. Well, going back to prison. Yep. The third story is Raven. It's Valentine's Day, but she's the only one working. And she goes help this family remove a ghost from their house. And she's like, okay, what do you need to do to remove whatever's keeping you here, like whatever emotion or attachment. Usually it's revenge. But all he wanted to do was just dance on prom. And she dances with him, and she feels better, and she was able to help him move on. So she has a happy memory from this. Same. Now we get to Would Dead Man Be My Valentine? It's basically also on Valentine's Day. A kid wants to kill himself, but Dead Man saves him, and then he beats up the bullies that was picking on him, and we see that the reason why the bully was picking on him is because he was getting picked on by his stepdad. And it ends on a happy note with, Dead Man telling him that, that he does have, there are good things in his life if he looked and stuff like that. And go do gymnastics to help. So, it ends on a happy note. Then we have Swamp Thing story. Well, Swamp Thing has fallen in love again. And, well, tragedy occurs. You know, this organization finds out and then they hire hitmen. But this is a nitpick, but Craigslist, really? I don't think you can find assassins and hitmen on Craigslist. I highly doubt that. I'm pretty sure that would be removed quickly. You know, Swamp Thing gives her Valentine's Day card, and in the attempt of trying to capture him, they send a net which pins her to a tree, try to stab him, it failed, shoots him, and I don't know if you can tell, there we go, she got shot, and she probably died. And so to make them feel how he feels, like how he lives through this endless life, he pretty much will provide food, water, and everything that they need, but they won't die. So pretty much they will be living there until their old age, so he knows how he feels like to be alone, unable to talk to anyone in the real world, unable to have connections. And that's the ending of the story, and he goes off into the swamp. Then we have Wonju, Mala, and the brain and visibility. Mala and the brain have people as hostages. A female SWAT officer pretty much comes in to help try to figure out what they need, and well, we pretty much get a backstory of how they met, their relationship, and she agrees to make him, the brain, be able to see Mala. And so it's a happy ending here. They're able to see each other. Well, he's able to see Mala, and then they get arrested. This one, I don't know too much about the characters in here at all. Vampire. I have never read a single issue of Vampire. I know that there's a show on CW called Zombie, and I know that it's also done by DC. It's a DC comic. I'm wondering if there's any relation. I really hope that I Frankenstein movie was not a DC comic. But moving on. And well, apparently she's been turned into a vampire, and Andrew here is not too happy about it. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember her name right now. Deborah, here we go. Wait, can you remember her name? Sorry about that. This could be pretty much since I don't know the characters too well, my mind isn't really remembering. Also, I'm very tired. Sorry about that. Well, she says that she'll be able to handle anything that happens because she's half vampire, and she also wants him to turn her into a full vampire, but he's worried because the last time he was in love, it turned, his now ex-lover, who turned her into a vampire, evil, apparently. And then we have this villain showing and hurrying up, and well, he gets defeated by a heel of a shoe. I don't know what to say about that. But then they go to, back into their crypts. So another happy ending. Here we go. Demon into hell and gone. This is about how Etrigan fought the forces of... I'm trying to remember. I know it's in hell. Oh, of Memoria. Here we go. It's pretty much how he defeats the forces of Memoria, and also that woman that he loved is now in hell because of him not, because he disappeared and she went looking for him and she became a serial killer. And he does defeat them. Yes. That's what I can tell from this panel here. He's on the ground. I think he's under a rock. And he's just telling the story of how and why, Etrigan came to defeat the forces of Memoria. And, well, they couldn't tell if he was happy or extremely sad. We also have the last story is the Creature Commandos, basically set in World War II. I'm trying to remember, from Frankenstein, Agent Shade, the Creature Commandos weren't created until, I think, the most modern one that they had in their, fits with the names here, was after, I think 2012 maybe, supposed to be, but the New 52 sort of is weird, and with the rebirth I guess things really changed a lot, because I went back to older continuity. I think it sort of mixed with the New 52 continuity, sort of. I'm trying to remember what happened, but I can't. I had someone explain it to me, but that was some time ago, so. But it's basically, the vampire got a letter from his girlfriend that she's breaking up with him, and, well, it's a bonding moment between the werewolf and the vampire, and that's really all it is. It's like, he's a monster now, and he knows that he can't go back to normal life. And, well, it ends with them fighting robot Nazi cyborgs. Huh. And that's the ending of the issue. There's a lot of tragedy in this comic. Either the ending is tragic or there's tragic. It's either taking a tragic ending, but making it a little bit more of a happier ending, or something tragic occurred, and then it's turning into a happy ending. But there's tragedy all throughout in here, and that's what I really noticed. I don't know if this is canon or not, but in any case, we'll just have to wait until, if they ever bring back any Frankenstein Agents of Shade as its own standalone comic, well, or any of the others here, we'll find out then. I don't think it's bad. I do like it, and I understand what Ingleting, of I Love Comics said. That these are well written, and it's just I was hoping for that, Frankenstein and Lady Frankenstein get back together. That's what I was really hoping for, and I just really think they could have. I was hoping for less tragedy, but it makes sense with them being so tragic because monsters. Is it worth the $10 for 80 pages? No, I don't think so, but I think I might know why they sort of did that, because you see here Swamp Thing Winter Special, it's also 80 pages but only $7.99 to $8. Probably because there are so many more writers, artists, and they had to pay them as well. So that's probably why, because this is only, with the Swamp Thing Winter Special, it's only one team doing it. This is multiple teams. So, yeah. Those are my thoughts on it. Well, my guess is, if you want a love story, maybe, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of, romance manga, and you can get more story for the same price of $10. Well, thank you for watching. Comment on what stories you liked in here, what you think they should have changed, if anything, what characters you think will be in issue 2, and when they will release the next one of these. And tell me what you thought. Thank you for watching. And also, hit the like button if you liked it. Hit the subscribe button if you want to get, stay up to date with my content, and hit the notification bell to get notified. Well, again, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.